Alright, we ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh!
Woof.
Hey everybody, welcome back to a brand new Late to the Murder Party. And of course, we are continuing the Fall of the Hunt. As someone's outfit changes directly in front of my eyes.
What mad sorcery is this?
I am, of course, your hostess with the mostest, the Mistress Tintail Ookami. Mistress Ookami. I'm probably confusing people because they have multiple different names. Yeah, the Mistress Ookami. With me, of course, is the lovely Xeiren.
Hello, hello.
The equal is lovely Graveturtle.
Hello.
The, how you say, Belgian in wolf's clothing of Varren Kimball.
We're on express elevator to hell, going down.
My good friend passed the remote.
Hoorah.
The awesome Wolfman Roy.
All I need is one question answered. Where they are.
And the chaotic Doc himself.
Asses and elbows, people. Let's move.
Yeah, that's a weird fucking line. To be honest.
Are you
And
supposed to put the elbows in the asses?
yeah, maybe. I don't know. And of course, we are moving on to our second stop in this. Fucking hell, do we have like what, 15, 16 films to watch?
Yes.
13 in total.
Are we doing the rip-offs too?
But
There's a lot more.
No, but we've
No.
also got okay, so 14 because I think we have the new one, the newest
Yeah,
one.
with that one it'll be 14. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Stop 2 of 14 with 1986's horror action fucking classic. James Cameron, not quite a douche, but he's getting there. He has his on and off fucking moments. I'll
He
talk
hasn't quite
about
tried
him
to-
someday.
Hasn't quite
but-
tried to drown Ed Harris yet.
No, yeah, he has not
Yeah,
decided to
no.
do that. No, but apparently he did try to do that during Piranha 2. With trying to drown people. We are, of course, talking aliens.
No bottling of the alien queen. 2 out of 10. Where was Ajax?
Yeah, that'll be interesting. We'll talk about the toys here in a second, too. Yeah. That whole thing is just insane. Yeah, directed by James Cameron. We have, of course, got, I don't know, was it written by him? No.
No.
Yeah. It was written by him.
Okay.
It's, yeah.
Written and
It
directed
was
by
his-
Cameron.
It was his screenplay.
Okay. We, of course, have the returning Sigourney Weaver as Ellen Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
We have Carrie Henn.
Adorable.
Child, Hollywood can fuck off for what it did to you. Yeah, as Newt. We have Private Hudson, played by Bill Paxton.
R.I.P.
Alright.
Game over, man.
Corporal Dwayne as Michael, played by Michael Bean.
Corporal Hicks.
Corporal
Corporal
Hicks.
Hicks.
That's
Is this Dwayne? Yeah, his first name was Dwayne.
Corporal
His first name is Dwayne.
Hicks.
His first name
It
is
actually
Dwayne.
is written here. It's how I'm reading it because it's written here as Corporal Dwayne
It's
Hicks.
not written as Purple Hicks.
Yeah. It's unfortunately not written as Corporal Hicks. Lance Henriksen. Love that man.
Yeah,
As
always
Bishop.
good in everything he does.
Jeanette Goldstein as Private Vasquez.
The only white woman that got away playing a Latina woman.
I'm pretty sure most people's sexual awakening.
Paul Reiser is Carter Burke. There's
Fuck you, Burke. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Rocky Burke.
Yeah, we got Colette Hiller as Corporal Farrow. We have Al Matthews, Sergeant Apone.
We got Mark Robston in there too. He's
Yep.
sort of the '80s
Private
that guy
Drake.
at the time.
Yep, Private Drake.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're just too bad.
And yeah, good cast here, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Valerie Colgan, yeah, she looked familiar to me too. Yeah, it's... Oh boy. So, the fucking... Hang on, I can do this.
Okay.
Full... The description on this. Decades after surviving the Nostromo incident, Ellen Ripley is sent out to re-establish contact with a terraforming colony, but finds herself battling the alien queen and her offspring.
Hell yeah.
And
Mother against mother.
yeah, this is a war film, as particularly
Oh,
we're
yeah,
dealing with
yeah.
Nam.
So,
It-
question
No,
to
it-
the group.
Nam,
is
yes and no.
Central American
What's up there, Xeiren?
complex.
So, question to the group: who watched the theatrical cut and who watched the director's cut?
I watched the
director's cut.
theatrical cut.
Varen and I did the
Theatrical.
director.
Director's cut or nothing.
Yeah.
I got the
That's
director's
how I
cut.
roll.
Zaren,
This one.
I assume you also watched the director's cut with him.
I've only ever watched the director's cut.
Fair. You know what? Actually, yeah, that's the only way I have ever seen it. Like, unless it's on TV, and even then I'm like, eh.
Well, and even
even
then, the TV cut is closer to the director's cut because they have to like censor out a bunch of violent shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they-
I
some
think
other
I've,
stuff, and then they
I
had
think
the
I've
extra scenes
seen
lying
the.
around.
I think
Yep.
I've seen the director's cut for Aliens before,
Mm-hmm.
because there are some things I think that I don't. I'm trying to remember if they actually.
It was actually widely available on VHS if I remember correctly, the special edition.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the '90s, when around the time when I think Alien 3 was coming out.
And that's also what most people at the time would have discovered. At least
Like,
those who.
Most of us for the first one, Alien, watched the theatrical cut because the director's cut actually makes it more confusing
Mm-hmm.
for the first film. Where I feel like the director's cut of Aliens just feels a bit more complete.
makes a
Mostly
lot-
due to
lot more
just
arcs.
character development stuff.
So funny enough, this
Yeah.
is a story I could share. I had of course watched Alien before, but the other three films, the first time I ever watched them, I went to Blockbuster and rented because it had just come out, the Alien Quadrilogy DVD set of all of the director's cuts.
Ah.
So I watched the shit out of all the special features, so I know of just the nightmare of some of these other ones. And I did, yeah, I would go back and watch. I think I sat and watched the theatrical cut again of Alien, and then I watched the director's cut, and I said that was weird. And then watched Aliens only as the director's cut. I was like, I don't really feel like the theatrical cut. Clearly, there's a lot cut from this fucking film. So I watched it from there, and yeah, I have only ever seen the director's cut of Aliens.
I really should have watched the director's cut because whenever we watched Terminator 2, I always watched the director's cut. of
Yes.
that. So, but the thing was, I picked up the first one up and was rewatching it up until about the time we were about to record because
Mm-hmm.
that's how I roll. And it was like, well, theatrical cut. And I feel like I'm like, wait, there are other things that are missing here. What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, so we three will definitely be talking the director's cut.
Yeah.
You'll know when
Mhm.
things differ. Yeah, so right out the gate,
Our
This-
girl is back.
our girl is back. This movie's fucking amazing.
57 years. She spins
Yeah.
in hypersleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for everybody else, it's like whatever happened to our space truckers happened forever ago. Like, what are you even talking about? You know, we were just lucky to find you. Yeah,
Yeah.
lucky to find
Right
you.
through.
Mhm.
Drifting through a certain sector of space. I'm just sitting here going, no. I don't buy that for a hot sec. Then again, this is
Mhm.
Burke saying all this shit, and
Mhm.
as we continue to talk to the movie, you'll figure out exactly what I feel about Burke.
Oh, fuck Mark.
Fuck
Fucking
Burke.
Burke.
I actually do believe that they'd find her on accident. Like, it's not explicitly stated in the movie, but there's definitely a few time skips here and there.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
there's also the fact that like watching the theatrical cut, like a salvage team is the one that opens the hatch and finds her. It's like so, like they were on a salvage. They were trying to do a salvage job. So
Oh yeah.
the
Mhm.
only other thing I can think of is that the company were tracking basically like, well, she doesn't have anything, so just whatever, and put a track on it in case they needed her, but that
Yeah.
feels counterintuitive.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
My-
that's actually.
my major running
Mhm.
theory with this is that from the first film they were getting basically constant updates from
Mhm.
Ash,
Mhm.
and so
Yeah.
when everything goes silent, but they know that the one escape pod is gone, they're just like, yeah, keep the tracking going on that thing, and we're going to avoid her as much as possible.
Yeah.
Avoid responsibility. And it just takes this salvage team that doesn't know the plan
Mhm.
to find her.
Mhm.
So somebody screwed up in the memo department.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because like the salvage
Well, has
team.
Jonesy.
Sure. Yeah, like because like the fucking the salvage team. Yeah, there's a line when they find her that I was just like, well, fuck you too. Because they come
There
in
goes our
there
salvage.
and it's like, yeah, there goes this. Yeah, it's like, yeah, she's alive. Yep, there goes her salvage. I'm like, what the? Fuck you too.
I mean,
Look, I get it. They're scrapping
Mhm.
by just to, they're just scrapping by, and yeah, once something like that is found and it ruins their payday, yeah, that sucks.
Oh, and to mention all the vintage electronics they found that they could either fix up and update or like sell
Mhm.
because the collectors. You lost a pretty penny right there.
Look,
Yeah.
not necessarily. Am I the only one who thinks practical about this stuff? Like, okay, yeah, she's on ice. Okay, we strip it, and then say, oh yeah, no, it's just how we found it. And oh yeah, she's alive. Oh okay, yeah, here you go, take her. You guys
Well-
still, we got the stuff right? Okay, good. Let's get the fuck out of here.
yeah, how I see. My thing is that and this movie does it a little bit more. I mean, it's in the original Alien, but this one so much more is kind of a critique on like that kind of megacorp capitalist crap that.
Oh
you see.
yeah.
It's
Mhm.
with the Wayland Yutani did. I mean, they even changed like the original logo is kind of an Egyptian theme, and then they
Yeah.
went with the WY to be almost kind of see WY Wayland Yutani. We copyrighted the letters W and Y now. Yay! And yeah, the idea that fuck Burke.
Yeah.
There's actually a
We're all
funny
gonna be
story
saying that.
about the origin of the Wayland Yutani name.
Oh.
It was
Hmm.
actually a reference to concerns at the time in Britain about a merger between I think the car company was called Leyland and Toyota.
Yeah.
I could see that.
And then it was Rob Kahn, if I remember correctly, who then came up with the name, like changing Leyland to Wayland, just change one letter.
Mm-hmm.
And then instead of Toyota, he used the Japanese name of his neighbor, which was Yutani.
So if this was to be made now, it would probably be like, it would be what, like, Y box, Typhoon or something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that.
No, nobody would mince any
Cycrosoft.
words, and it would just be called Microsoft.
No, it would be Macrosoft.
Macrosoft.
Microsoft, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So our girl survives. It's 57 years later. She's woken up with information from this dickhead named Burke from the Whalen Utani group, and she is traumatized to all shit. And this movie does a very good job of making you feel like you're in the present, but making it very, very clear just how the first movie for Ripley was fucking yesterday.
Yeah.
She's traumatized as all get out.
Mm-hmm.
And in the director's cut, they add extra sting.
That's why I was
Because-
looking for. It's like, where is it? Oh yeah,
Because
Yeah.
she finds out because she was just she was a navigator
Mm-hmm.
on the other ship. She never expected for things to go the way it did. It was just a Tuesday. It was just a fucking Tuesday, and she was just doing her job. And before she left on that job, she told her 11-year-old, her 10-year-old daughter that she'd be there for her 11th birthday. She made that promise, and she only finds out as she's waking up. It's 57 years later, and her daughter's dead.
that
And that is just freaking heartbreaking. It's not in the theatrical cut.
yeah.
But
Because I was
it's-
looking for. I was looking for that because I have. So which is like, yeah, I've seen the director's cut before, but in rewatching it, yeah, I got the theatrical. So where did I mention the dead daughter? Oh, it got cut. Must have been cut.
Yep, that's in
Yeah,
the director's
and-
cut.
Fun little factoid about that one. The picture that Burke shows Ripley of her daughter is when she's an old lady.
Yeah.
And that's actually Sigourney's mom.
Mhm.
Yeah, which is why Sigourney was actually like pretty mad when she found out the scene was cut. It's like, that was a way to honor my mom, damn it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It actually, and that whole thing kind of reminds me. Sorry, a little tangent. Of the whole bit in Interstellar, when McConaughey sees his daughter again,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mhm.
she's basically she's an old woman about to die. And yeah, what? Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, Varren was giving me a weird side eye.
I was drinking.
he was
I
drinking.
was drinking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
just-
whenever you knock back a glass or a can, like if you lean your head far enough back or you lean yourself far enough back, when you come back into reality, it just goes every
like-
time.
So,
Like because I have a huge ass fucking water cup, it just goes.
mhm. But yeah, where so in that one he leaves off for a mission, and she's on Earth, and there's the whole gravity, fucking relativistic speeds and stuff like that. So he's not aging and she's aging, and eventually she helps create these colonies that are basically like the colonies from Gundam going out into space, and she's like almost 100. And when he sees her, he's Matthew McConaughey. He's just Matthew McConaughey aged.
Yeah.
And it reminds me a little bit of that. Although that one, he did get to see her, and she's like, it's okay. I got my family and all this, so you get to go, you said goodbye and go do what you got to do. But, but Ripley didn't get to have that kind
No.
of thing. So.
No, a
Yeah.
big theme of this film
Mm-hmm.
is PTSD and trauma in general,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and dealing with it, even down to the soldiers. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hudson's got PTSD for fucking sure.
yeah.
He had
Oh,
it.
yeah, big
I'm
time.
pretty sure he had it before.
Oh, you can tell that's literally
Woke up.
why he is the way he is. That is
Yeah.
his bravado. That is him trying to
It's his
cover
coping
up.
mechanism.
Yeah. The fact that
It-
and that's why he's crying. It's like I was 4 weeks out. I was 4
Yeah.
weeks out of this shit. I could finally be done. It's like, yeah, he did not want to be there at all.
No.
Yeah.
But also in that same vein, like because of our Marines, our lovely Marines, who we will go into detail to in a second.
Yes, they're all awesome.
They're all awesome.
They are.
They themselves, when they enter the film, like they are very much not just a troop of Marines. Like they have known each other for a long time. They know each other's dirty secrets. Like they have a rapport, and they're very much their own found family when they enter the film. And so much of God damn, my distractible brain fucking hell pass. Anyway. Sorry, we do these on Discord, and I'm now seeing a CPAP machine with a face hugger attachment on it, like we brought up in the first review as a possibility. And now what was I even talking about? Found family. The other big theme in this movie is found family. And without that, well, I will say the theatrical cut definitely gets that across as like parallels between the Marines and who survives at the end. Like without that scene from the beginning, it just doesn't hit as hard when it comes to Ripley finding a new family by the end of the film.
It also having that information, I feel, really does color the way that her interactions with Newt.
Oh, it massively makes that whole interaction a lot more sense, and especially then it hits even harder at the end when Newt actually calls Ripley mom.
I knew I didn't mishear that. Okay, I wanted to make damn certain I actually heard that. It was like, she flat out shouts like "mommy," like
yep, flat out shouts "mommy."
Okay,
yeah.
This is
At
why
first,
I hate 3 even more, but we'll get to that.
Yes.
Oh God, yeah.
But I will not be there, so. I don't like watching movies I don't like.
So Burke convinces Ripley to go on this reconnaissance mission to go fuck with some xenomorphs who invaded this colony, and she's very reluctant about it, but she's like, just make me one promise, we're there to actually kill the bastards, not do anything stupid. Again,
Sure,
fuck you,
my
Burke.
Oh my God, yeah.
Well, this is
Fuck you, Burke.
This is also the movie that the oft-quoted, nuke the site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
Yeah.
And so Ripley finds her way to this job. Burke convinces her. Then we meet our lovely Space Marines who really underestimate Ripley at first, but then she pulls a power move with the forklift essentially. And they're just like, okay, never mind, you're resourceful.
Oh yeah, that was so awesome. Yeah, I fucking love that. Because it's like, I love Mystery Science Theater, and if you ever watch the first Rocket Ship XM, the first episode of the second season, Joel basically makes a drum kit version of that. And when I was watching Alien, it was like, oh, the umbilicus. I was like, oh, of course that's where that came from. Of course they would do that. It's been a while since I'd seen Alien, but yeah, it's so She basically tells them she's forklift certified, which makes. Which if you're forklift certified, that just that'll make the panties moist. And it just goes and picks the stuff up like she knows what she's doing. She's like, "Where you want us?" And I love he said, "Bay 12, please."
Yeah.
It's like as soon as it's like, okay, hey, you pull your weight, you're cool.
Yeah.
Everybody's cool.
And this entire time, like Hicks in the background, just smirking as all hell.
Yeah.
Well,
another theme of this was strong women.
The breakfast.
That was the thing. They wanted
Also,
to have powerful women.
I'm going to say this. I love the breakfast scene. The breakfast scene.
Yeah.
I've seen it be ripped off a few times, but it really is such a great way of introducing the characters and their relationships.
I love fucking
Also,
Bishop doing
also
the knife,
Frost,
and I still love the
knife.
reaction to this.
Oh yeah, because that was real. That was real. It was just supposed to be Bishop, and so he's like, put Bill's hand under it. He's like, oh.
Yeah, Lance is a certified 5-finger fillet fanatic.
Yeah, so I think at the end of that, at the end of that scene, his
Frost,
reaction of just like, that's not funny! It's like probably him legitimately yelling at the cast and crew.
It is Cameron.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Although, I also, I can't remember if it was in the breakfast scene or whatever, where they basically said, one of them were, Frost is like, they're at this one mission in October, he's like, yeah, right, you got laid, and he's like, that was a guy. He's like, I don't give a shit.
Doesn't matter with Octurians, man.
Uh-huh. Hey, there you go. There you go, little bisexual love for Frost.
The great thing about that scene as well is just that scene was filmed as one of the last ones. Specifically done so, you know, you could really see the camaraderie between all the actors after months of filming.
Yeah, that so makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like, no, you wanna. Yeah,
and
because
James Cameron
it's one of the best.
specifically did it that way to, you know, make sure everybody knew each other, everybody was able to like really pick up on each other and whatever it was needed. Like you could really feel that, you know, they were a troop together.
Yeah, because it's so great. It's one of my favorite, you know, hey, you show all these folks are friends scenes in all of movies.
Yeah. Funny thing about the knife thing as well, I just want to quickly point out, is that Lance had practice with very particular knives. And he wanted those specific knives.
Yes.
He had to smuggle those through UK airport security.
Yeah.
So the producer literally pretty much bribed some people to get it through customs. So Lance had his specific knives that he had trained with.
Oh my god, it's fantastic.
I love stories like it's kind of like how the stories in Mad Max where George Miller just bribed some folks to be in the movie, giving them cases of beer.
Yeah,
like half the budget of that movie is beer.
Beer. Yeah, no, like just like I didn't get to say it the previous time, but like just like Aliens is another one now. Like both of these are films where I want to see these characters in like their life before running into the fucking xenomorphs.
That would be cool.
I want to see the shit they were up to. Like I want to see the crew. I want to see the truckers do their thing. I want to see. Yeah. I want to see these soldiers, like the places they went, the shit they did, what they fucked.
You want to see these soldiers shut down unruly colonies.
Yeah,
new people.
Yeah,
war crimes. We want to see war crimes.
What's up?
Ookami.
Yes, sis.
Guess what?
What?
There's an Audible original for Hicks and Bishop after this one.
Ah, yes.
I'll have to show it to you.
Yes, please do.
Point.
I'm aware.
Because if you're hungry for that sort of shit, you're not the only ones, and people are still making crap.
Yeah,
it's freaking amazing.
Yeah, I am aware of that one. That came from an alternate like of what they wanted to do after. Yeah, and much better too. Get into that
by William Gibson of all people.
Yeah,
Which is surprising. Yeah,
But yeah,
so we
this
see
movie...
we see our characters, you know, bonding together. Get a good feel of everyone, like Hudson, even like characters like Drake and such, and of course fucking Vasquez, who immediately made a goddamn impression with how she fucking carried herself. As I said in the beginning, though, you know, the only time a white woman has gotten away with playing a different ethnicity like this, just because the character was so fucking good.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like looking at her picture, like her IMDb picture, and I go, huh?
Yeah. Leslie Goldstein.
Leslie Goldstein.
Yeah.
Jeanette.
Which, by the way, for those who are vets to our show, we have talked about several of these people before in a film they did right afterwards. with Near Dark.
Near Dark.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they did right before that. So.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Vasquez is such a just. She oozes cool as soon as she enters the fucking picture. Like so cool that like it didn't appeal just to women. It also just appealed to a lot of men. Because like I've seen stories of boys at the time. It's like, no, I want to be Vasquez when they're like role playing the fucking movie, like buying fingerless gloves specifically to make it feel more like Vasquez.
Oh yeah, like
I get it.
Vasquez is fucking iconic, and the crazy thing is, if you dig a little deeper with Jeanette's background, like she does have North African heritage as well as Brazilian heritage, so it's like technically, I mean,
she's squint really hard. Yeah,
it's there. Like you can tell that the tan is natural, is what I'm saying. Like she comes by she comes by her features honestly, regardless of how she is classified. So I look at it and go, you know what? If any white woman was going to do that, it had to have been her. It had to have been her.
We have had Italians playing Native Americans.
Yeah, it was one of those things. It was the 80s. Like it was happening all the freaking time.
Yeah.
Just be aware that when you look back on this one with modern eyes, it's just like, yeah, but also damn.
Which.
Because again, like not as bad as icon. I think
Vasquez.
You said as well, Xeiren, that she's like seen as a queer icon for a lot of people.
Oh yeah, definitely a queer icon for many. I know a lot of people who realize like, I think I'm attracted to women. It's because of Vasquez.
I think even one line in the movie, Vasquez kind of says this because like I think at one point she says in Spanish like that Ripley's hot. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and also Vasquez came around at a time where women weren't allowed to be in infantry and in combat roles in the military. So. Huge impact on what came around in the 90s when that shit switched around.
If you tell me that there are women who joined the military because of Vasquez, and
absolutely,
I would absolutely believe it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, there were people I went to school with that decided to join the military because they grew up with aliens, and they're like, yeah, I want to be Vasquez. Yeah. Like, it's the thing is like I also look at Vasquez and I go, oh, look, Vasquez, the original muscle mommy. Yeah. Like, Vasquez as a character, I feel like changed so much of pop culture history just by existing.
Hey, Vasquez, you ever been mistaken for a man?
I don't know.
No. Have you?
It's such a great fucking comeback.
And yet you know the person who's giving her shit about this, those two are fucking in the barracks. I swear to God.
Yeah,
that's her boy toy.
Yeah, no, she
is the one who says you are gonna fuck me good, or I will kick the living shit out of you.
Yeah, no.
But the thing also that I love is that
fucking Drake.
You get the idea that everybody is. And this is definitely I've seen this from working with folks who are Marines. Is like Marines are all brothers. Like that's just how it is. Marines are a brotherhood.
Oh yeah, and it was also helped that due to the fact that they hired particular military instructors to like literally put the actors through boot camp to prepare them for this.
If they went through Marines boot camp, that's Marines boot camp is known to be the most physically demanding boot camp.
It's no joke.
Yes.
It's no joke.
And
even folks who are in the Air Force might actually get props from other people for going through Marine boot camp.
And it's still kind of funny that like in the stories that like, still during that time like Bill Paxton was like giving some shit here and there. It's like, hey man, this is getting real heavy. Can I just put the shit down for a minute?
Yeah. Well, I mean those guns weighed like 60 to 70 pounds.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh yeah. I don't doubt that, but it's thanks to that they really built this rapport. They were also encouraged, like all the actors were encouraged, to, like, make their own equipment to get, like, put it together, personalize it. Vasquez and Drake, like the actors, they came up with backstories, like why they specifically joined the Marines and such. Like there was a lot of, like, James let a lot of the actors, like, gave a lot of free movements to, like, you just make your character your own. Even down to Burke, where, like, if you notice throughout a lot of movie, Burke is carrying this notepad around. Yeah, that was a specific choice from the actors. Like, I think we're gonna have, like, I think I want to have this as the prop that my character carries with him a lot. And then James says, like, well, okay, but you're gonna have to carry that with you throughout the entire movie.
Yes.
Yeah, and yeah, speaking of this, so people should be aware, like, yeah, there is 7 years between these two films. This film we almost didn't get.
Nope.
That's the sad part. This film was almost not made because of the fact that 20th Century Fox wasn't keen on a sequel. Because while Alien did okay, they were like, yeah, but we're not willing to take risks. We don't really care. There was a lot of lawsuits happening, apparently, behind the scenes. So, which I think was problems on the set, for the set of Alien. There was a lot of shit going on behind the scenes. But it was the fact that Cameron came forward and said, like, let me do this. Just trust me.
Yeah, it was because, like, after the Terminator, he was, like, shopping around and, like, the studio heads was like, I don't know, well, maybe you could do something with this Alien property. And then James, like, took it and ran with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah,
which
so,
helps. Which is funny. Which just helps that it adds to the weird sort of connection that I made and I talked to Ookami about.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Which is, you know what franchise that weirdly has a lot in common with Alien? Other than a lot?
The Terminator?
No, but you got the right idea.
Okay. Because I was gonna bring up something, but yeah. What you bring up, Doc?
Rambo.
Huh.
In a way.
Think about it. Like, not just with the personnel involved, because of course Cameron wrote First Blood Part 2 and Aliens. It's also really weird how the franchise's trajectory is very similar up to a certain point.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. Because, like, First Blood was a very personal, like, just story about post-Vietnam treating of the soldiers. And then First Blood Part 2 was then... And the First Blood Part 2 was pretty much like, what if we won Vietnam?
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like the first one, the First Blood is this very 70s, heavily moody drama focus, and then Alien in 79 is this heavily moody horror movie. But by the time we get the sequels a couple of years later, they're just saying, fuck it, we're in full-out action movies now. So you got Rambo saving well, not even 3, but something to do with hostages in Vietnam, because that's always how it is.
Yeah.
And then you have Aliens having Ripley save a bunch of hostages from a mining site full of aliens. When you think about it.
Yeah. No, you're right. Absolutely.
And then you have the third ones where you could argue it definitely goes off the rails.
Yeah.
And then the fourth one is where you get a little bit tricky, because, like, A, Rambo 4 didn't happen until, like, 2008, and B, it's sort of both kind of sighing as too little, too late. And then there's 5, which, what do you count as 5? Do you count Prometheus 5, Covenant as 5, who the fuck knows?
Your analysis definitely works up until the third one. After that, then yeah, they still go their own ways.
Yeah. But they have, early years, they have a lot in common.
More weird things they have in common, though, I remember. A, both R-rated movies that have toy lines and cartoons.
Yep.
Alien was going to have a cartoon. That didn't happen, but the pilot does exist.
They should have had They should have had a cartoon, because everything had a cartoon in the 80s.
Oh, it just, for some reason, it just didn't work out. But they had the cartoon...
toys.
There were toys. The toys did come out. The cartoon The pilot exists. I think it's locked behind a vault. But yeah, that's as far as it got. Rambo, on the other hand, has a whole fucking cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
what I was
2
gonna
seasons worth of cartoon.
I was going to make a connection, although it was just nowhere near what Doc had. Doc had a really good connection with the Alien and Rambo. My connection was going to be between Alien and the Terminator, in that you have this kind of slasher horror movie for the first installment.
Yep.
And then later it becomes a full-on action movie that is, that has a director's cut that is widely, lauded. And then you just ignore everything else that happens after it, and you're good.
Yeah.
Also,
well, even then, you could say 3 went off the rails, and then 4, with Salvation, is just what the fuck.
I don't like 3.
Gets more what the fuck after that, believe me.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, no. Ignore everything after 2, unless it's the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Sarah Connor Chronicles is good, and
that is good. That's good.
Anyway, so
I do like that I can say that.
All our Marines get together, we're suiting up, getting ready to go into an LV-426, going to save Hadley's Hope.
Which, what a name for a settlement, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like the name a corporate committee would make.
It's a bit blunt, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
boy, when they arrive, do they?
Is kind of the point.
I know.
Like, they do really see just like how much of a fucking mess the goddamn colony is. You see all kinds of shit destroyed. As they say, like a lot of small arms fire marks are here and there. You see just like panels being ripped out, barricades that were made and destroyed. Like,
small
shit
explosions
went down here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can tell the colonists did their damnedest to survive, but they were just completely out of their depth.
Yep.
Which makes it all the more miraculous feeling when they find Newt in the air. Roaming around in the air ducts, the one place she was told not to play by her mom.
Yeah.
And yet it saved her freaking life. And Newt's just like, no, I'm terrified to be around other people, because where there's other people, those aliens are not far behind.
Yeah.
Like, the most pragmatic yet traumatized child on film ever. And yet we
fucking bit me.
And yet she still looks back on her time on the film like so fondly, because everybody took such good care of her while she was on set.
Yeah, she apparently Bill Paxton constantly apologized to her when he swore, but like she was like, I don't even know what those words mean. And what I also thought was a very funny story was one scene later down the line when she's stuck in the water and the alien pops up behind her. Like James was like constantly telling us like, look, there's going to be something appearing. It looks like a monster, but it's not a real monster. But like apparently she's like, I know it's a guy in a suit.
It's like, that's my friend.
Yeah, that's my friend.
I think it's
we've been making jokes up until this point. So
yeah, I think because what helps that case, I think of Aliens, and I think of another example being the girl who played Carol Ann on Poltergeist, where they both have very the very good thing you can do when you have child actors like that is to make them feel okay enough that yes, you're doing a job, but you're having fun with people.
Yeah,
you're allowing acting to play pretend. Yeah.
And Carrie wasn't an actors by trade, not at all. She was randomly picked out of a photo shoot they did around different schools.
Yeah.
Like she had no background or anything. Like they were just taking headshots, and her headshot looked the best for Newt. So then they picked her, gave her a few acting lessons, and boom, there she was.
Yeah, they basically said, those eyes, those big bright eyes. Yeah, that's the one we need. that was pretty much it. But
don't get me wrong, kid actors have had major problems. Although ironically, it's never been from the set; it's been more from the parents. But in
Yeah,
these
we're
examples,
we're not gonna get into that deeply.
escape
No.
bombs, no.
No.
But very much with how the stories come out both on Alien and, like I said, on Poltergeist, they have really good experiences because it's realizing that at the end of the day, you're letting these kids have fun at the idea that holy shit, I'm in a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like, cause even you asked me like while we were watching it, like, yeah. So like thoughts on the kid. Like, did you are there stories about like her being annoying? Do like people hate Newt? I'm like, no.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard one person have a problem with the character of Newt.
No.
No. I think it's because I've known her as a punchline for like years.
There are definitely some people who may say like she comes off wooden, but I would say that like with how she portrays her line, it just brings out the trauma more.
No, it's not wooden. It's British.
Thing is that Cameron. The thing that I pointed out to Ookami, and she couldn't help but notice it too, is that poor thing has a tendency to switch between accents. And the thing is, I don't know if it was her fault or it was Cameron not giving her like clear enough direction, but
No. That has everything to do with the fact that this is a U.S. production movie being filmed in England.
Yeah.
In England.
Yeah.
And so the poor kid's just being the poor kid was just being exposed to multiple accents on a daily basis, and kids are going to mimic. Not to mention, I feel like when it comes to Newt, Newt very much when Ripley finds Newt, it's like not only is it down the line this whole second chance to be a mom thing, but in the beginning with Newt's reactions to things, the way Newt says the things Newt says in that wooden but also very all too knowing kind of way, Newt is just the reflection of how Ripley feels on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
like she's been
With
through
this
too
whole
much shit, and I want out.
Yeah, it's Newt in the early parts of the movie is a reflection of Ripley's own trauma. And that's what really gets Ripley to step up and be like, nah. Like, I'm not taking this bullshit. Especially since, very soon after, we've got Gorman just fucking it up. Left and right.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Gorman.
Fucking Gorman,
He
man.
makes up for it at the at his end,
but due to how much he fucked up, actual Marines have told the actor that they've said like, yeah, we use Gorman as an example to leadership on what not to do.
No.
They literally will show Marine people who are training to be Marine officers, aliens, and be like, "This is Gorman.
Don't be that guy.
Don't
Don't
be
be
This
Gorman.
is what you don't do."
Yeah.
Which I find hilarious.
Yeah, it's like, well, at least they can help.
To the point where like both Hicks and Ripley are just like, what the heck is wrong with this guy? Why is he telling us to do this shit? This is stupid. Like, Apone is just like, what do you mean we need to do this, do that? And Gorman's just like, just do it. It's like, you are giving incomplete information.
Yeah.
You were leaving these guys up shit creek without a paddle, and you're not even explaining yourself in a way that an officer should.
It's like when he tells him
fucking hell, Gorman.
When he tells him like, no explosive rounds, blah blah blah, like all the get rid of your actual bullets. You gotta stick to this stuff. And he's like, they're like, well, why? And he's like, just do it. And it's like, dude, just tell them what they're under, and they'll go,
So that way
I
fight
don't want to set
optimally.
that off.
That way, it's like
if you shoot bullets too much, shit explode.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is. You might hit the core. You might go boom.
Yeah.
It might cause a nuclear, and you can't outrun a nuclear explosion. You're like,
Absolutely not.
Okay, you'd be like,
Yeah.
listen, you got a nuclear thing. You're gonna need to not use the rounds and the explosive ordnance. You need,
Which
to
makes
stick
it
to stuff that isn't gonna penetrate the hull. And you do it that way, they'll be like, oh, okay, gotcha, all right.
Yeah. That's why
Which makes it all the more satisfying when Ripley's like, I am done with your shit, Gorman. Get the fuck out of the way. I am taking this vehicle. I am rescuing these motherfuckers, whether you like it or not. And then Hicks is just like, at that point, married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I love the fact that if the subtext of those two wasn't even written into the script. It was just something that like
was
Sigourney and Michael figured out on their own.
Yeah, like Michael really like had the idea of making Hicks a lot more sympathetic, like especially like just through his facial expressions and his smile, which is also extra funny when you realize that Michael Biehn was not the original cast for Hicks.
Who was?
The original cast was fucking James Remar.
Which, when you consider
Oh,
the time,
my.
would make all the sense in the world as a casting decision.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
then they had to axe him from the movie because dipshit decided to get himself some heroin and some cocaine while he was in England.
Yeah.
He was an undercover cop.
God,
But it's
damn it!
but it,
So
here's the
Damn it,
thing.
Ajax!
Here's the thing. It's the 80s. So the cocaine should be forgivable. The heroin not.
No.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, he does this. He does it in the stupidest way. He gets it from an undercover cop. He's arrested. They can't tell they don't tell the cast and the rest of the crew what's going on. The higher ups are just like, what the fuck are we gonna do? It's like, okay, you're either going to jail or you're getting deported. We're making it so you're getting deported. And so they just kick his ass on a freaking plane and say, get the fuck out of here. You're causing too much trouble. And then they just bring in Michael, like, not even a week later, and the rest of the cast is like,
who the fuck's that guy?
why is he here? We don't understand what's going on. And they're like, he's Hicks. And they're like, okay.
Yeah. What helps, he's one of Cameron's boys, because, like, he's worked with them before. Several times, actually.
Yep, but it was thanks to the Terminator connection that James remembered him. It's like, yeah, let's call him in, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Kyle Reese, I'm sorry, Michael, can you get over here? Yeah, get you over here. We're in some trouble.
I also want to bring up the fact is that is a very stupid thing for James Remar to do. Like, did you not have assistants to go and get you your drugs back then? Like,
no, I was going to say that, ironically, this is the second time James Remar, actually the third separate time James Remar has something involved with an undercover cop.
Yes.
And there is one shot of James actually in the movie.
Oh.
But it's only his back when they just are entering the hive.
It's kind of like in Back to the Future, I think, where there's some shots of the back of Eric Stoltz's head.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, they find the hive. They find the colonists. Who've all been cocooned.
And turn into incubators.
And then we see a little chest burster coming out, who this time has arms.
Yeah.
And yeah, then all shit starts to, break loose. All the aliens start coming out of the hive, attacking them. Shots get fired all around because Vasquez and Drake had fucking spare ammunition hiding somewhere. So they're still firing their smart gun around. Yeah. So many people start to die. All their ammunition gets destroyed that they had in the bag.
Yeah, because Frost had it, and Frost gets flamed and has a railing kill.
Yeah. And then once they finally make their escape, there's only a few people left with Hudson, Hicks, Vasquez, Gorman, Burke, and Ripley, pretty much.
Yeah.
Which is sad, because they kill off one of my favorite characters in the movie.
Which one?
Colonel.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, Apon?
Yeah, Apon, yeah.
Sarge.
It was a sergeant.
Sergeant, yeah.
Oh, was it sergeant? I thought it was colonel.
Yeah, because Gorman's a lieutenant, but you could tell he feels like he's fresh out of the academy.
Oh,
yeah.
It's like, and normally
Apon,
I think even...
Like, you gotta give Apon props, like, they gave him some of the best lines in the movie.
Oh, of course.
They did, and he gets his character across right from the beginning when he wakes up. Immediately shoves a cigar in his mouth.
Yeah.
It's like, that was big another call.
He was prepared. He had that right going to bed.
Another great day in the Corps.
Another great day in the Corps.
Yeah.
What, do you want me to pull out? Do you want me to get out your slippers?
Right. Oh, please, Sarge, could you
But I do
look in my eye?
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
I only say this as somebody who, like, knows quite a bit about plants. That cigar must have tasted like shit.
Yeah.
Have you ever had frostbite on vegetables, like freezer burn
Yeah.
Yes.
on vegetables?
Yeah. Imagining on tobacco leaf.
Yeah.
But you know that just makes him all the more badass because he does it anyway.
Teaspoons died
Well,
years ago.
Apron is the one who has the actual leadership happening, while Gorman is the one pretty much playing pretend at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I
like-
said when I saw it, it's like, yeah, lieutenant straight out of the academy. And
Yeah,
normally,
which
a lot
is-
of times, those folks who are kind of instructed, listen to the folks with experience. They know things, and you kind of, use that experience. And yeah,
Which is it is exemplified perfectly with just that little exchange in the dropship. It's like, how many drops is this for you, Lieutenant? 38. Simulated. How many combat drops? 2, including this one.
yeah.
Oh man, and I don't want to give away everything that happens in the middle of the movie. Just know shit pops off left and fucking right.
We get to find out. Oh, hey, hang on, just I do want to say one of the cool things, when they just all of them are when shit goes sideways and just half of our crew is gone. Like we get to see oh hey, here's a thought that I knew some people had. It's like, well, I mean, you could get rid of an alien, just shoot the shit out of it as it's like far away, and it's like we get to find out what happens when you shoot the shit out of an alien. Fucking alien acid goes.
It's hard to be badass when the acid is burning off your skin.
Yeah, we get to see that shit. Damn.
Yeah, like Hudson gets some sprayed on his arm.
Hudson gets it because didn't he do the shotgun? He did the shotgun one.
No, Hicks Hicks did the shotgun, but the blood spray went on Hudson after he did so. So
yeah.
Hudson was trying to close the doors.
I think somebody got hit and basically then got flamethrowered. It's like, oh, that
was Drake.
That was Drake.
Yeah, and then later on, Vasquez, while they were up close and personal, gets all up in on her leg.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, sorry to have interrupted you, sis, but I had to say that part. I've been biting at the bit for the past few minutes.
And it's even due to the fact because again, like in the first movie, they didn't really have any small arms fire or anything like that to help out or anything. All they had was jury rigged flamethrowers. Like here you see full military arms be used against the xenomorphs, and even then, sure, they explode, and then spray blood on you.
On you, yes.
Worst pinatas ever.
I mean, there was that time at Halloween that there was that razor blade pinata.
Oh God.
No.
All right, but go on. So sorry.
And so, as we're going along, we get so many iconic lines from Hudson, especially. If nothing else, if you don't watch this movie for anything else, do it to memorize Hudson's lines, because oh my God, they're applicable to so much shit.
Yeah, because it's definitely interesting to see Bill Paxton, who would later on be a very sort of macho figure in certain movies, macho and psychopath depending on the movie, Near Dark or the time he was the president.
Later down the line, he became a lot more, quote unquote, subtle actor, I guess is the best way of putting it. He really got.
He was reined in
really
a lot more
intense and good.
Yes.
He reined
I love
himself a lot more.
I love 80s and early 90s Bill Paxton as much as the next guy, but seeing his evolution is a treat.
Yeah, remember he went from a greasy pork chop sandwich served in a dirty
ashtray.
Game over, man. Game over.
What movie was he president in?
I'm trying to remember which one.
Okay, I thought you were gonna do the meme and say Independence Day.
No, but I know that's Bill Pullman.
Yeah,
but
heard that
Sorry.
mistake so many times.
All right.
There was one bill that Paxton was president. I'm not sure which one though. I can't remember what the fuck.
But you get to the real ramp up of things, and this is where you get to the major fuck you, Burke. Because Burke traps Ripley and Newt in the freaking med lab where they have face huggers.
They have 2 living face huggers. The rest are dead. They've been wanting to kill the living ones, but no.
But this is when you find out Burke, like Ash, is in the hands of the freaking corporate overlords, and they really hammer this one in so deep. Tries to get both Ripley and Newt assimilated, and get them frozen so they can take them back, so that way the corporation can breed more xenomorphs. And it's just like, you motherfucker. I have never wanted to reach through a screen and choke the shit out of somebody for turning off CCTV footage. But goddamn it, when he clicks that button, do I just want to rip his eyes out?
Yeah. It also doesn't help that you can very much tell he's very much dressed as what the 80s saw as the classic corporate yuppie.
Oh, yeah.
You had the sweater, the poofy ass, like curly sort of...
popped collar.
Yep.
The popped collar.
especially.
And, of course, the Hudson and Hicks being Hudson and Hicks, and Ripley being Ripley. Like, she sets off the fire alarm, Hicks and Hudson come running. Her and Newt get saved, and then they expose Burke, and Burke tries to justify himself.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
well, it's more at
fuck,
first.
man.
At first, he's still trying to do deflection because he's like, listen to yourself. This is all paranoid delusions.
Oh yeah. But when he realizes like nobody's listening to him, then he tries to justify it, and I'm like, kill him now. Fuck you, Burke.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
And they all go like, okay, yeah, he's toast.
Yeah. But then they get interrupted by more aliens.
Yeah.
Oh
like
my
they
gosh.
were gonna fucking ice him right there and then. Like,
Right, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And this whole time, so one of the side plots of all of this is just Ripley not trusting Bishop the entire time. Meanwhile, Bishop is just being the fucking best.
Oh yeah.
Throughout the entire freaking movie,
boss.
because all of a sudden the plot goes, no, he follows the laws of robotics. It's actually pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to be afraid of Bishop, which is so
I
refreshing.
may
that
be a
they did
synthetic
that.
being, but I'm not stupid.
And Lance, like he did give like a bit of like unearthly qualities, like making Bishop like slightly off human, just through his performances, which is then still very funny that at one point Lance actually had the idea of putting like special contacts in his eyes to like give him like double pupils or something. But James just told him, was like, look, you're already acting creepy enough. It's fine.
Well, this is the consolation prize for him not being cast as the Terminator.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, that's an urban myth if I remember correctly.
No, it is not an urban myth. No, Lance Henriksen was going to be originally. There's even artwork of him at where he's got the guns crossed. I've even
I'm pretty sure.
I've even heard Cameron say it, because originally Schwarzenegger was going to be cast as Kyle Reese.
Mm-hmm.
And it was going to be a very, because I had like one of the DVDs of it, and they actually, Cameron talked about that.
There's that. There's the fact that a certain football player was also going to be the Terminator, but we all know that story.
I can't see him as a killer. I can't. He's not
He's
not a believable killer.
He vowed to find the real Terminator. But yeah, no, there's artwork. There is James Cameron talking about how that was the initial plan was to be kind of a nobody, but yeah, that's why he was just as the cop guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that was But yeah, because he Bishop, he goes to go and realign the satellite dish. He crawls through a dry tube. Andy Dufresne got the one that wasn't dry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's busy doing that. The rest of them, now suddenly they've been surrounded. They start going out like badasses.
Mm-hmm.
Like, God damn it, Paxton.
Oh yeah, like he's just like shouting all over the place, like, you want some of this? Yeah, fuck you too.
Yes. Oh, you want some too?
Although apparently he was shouting so much and like so much different shit, like James didn't pick up on it, and when they were doing ADRs, like just do whatever, try to make the lips match. So like if you look real closely, like when that scene is happening, like some shit is not matching the lips.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then he gets taken out like he still went down like a badass though. Like, fucking sucks, but like he went down like a badass.
Yep.
And then then we have as they're all trying to escape. Bert gets his.
Oh yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which in the deleted scene he actually got cocooned as well.
Ha.
And then Ripley gives him a grenade to blow himself up.
Oh my god, I do remember that. Yeah, that's not like it's not in the director's cut. It is a deleted scene. Like even left out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Vasquez.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, her and who was it? I'm trying to remember.
Gorman.
Yeah, it was her and Gorman. And I love her final line is, "Gorman, I always knew you were an asshole." Bang.
It just smiles. Yeah, it's like you see he can tell. He's like, yeah, but it's still, yep, that was beautiful. That's the way to go. I'm like, yeah, no, he literally just made up for all of his shit right there.
And then of course, dropship is coming in. They think they're getting out, but psych, Newt gets taken away by one of the Xenos. So therefore, Ripley can't leave her behind. Goes back to the power plant, and after duct taping a pulse rifle and a flamethrower together, and finding
I'm really surprised no one's actually made a prop out of that yet, like an actual cosplay prop out of that.
I mean, it was used in the Konami game, but that's about it.
We mean like the jerry-rigged gun pulse rifle?
Jerry-rigged, yeah. Yeah, the jerry-rigged pulse rifle and flamethrower, like jerry-rigged together with duct tape.
Because I've seen the pulse rifle out in the wild. I've also seen the mech gun out in the wild.
Yeah, there's definitely ones made, but I've never seen the full jerry-rigged together.
Ripley gun, yeah.
Yeah, she explores the hives, eventually finds Newt and rescues her from a facehugger, and then they find, what James was envisioning. What laid all those eggs in the original movie?
The Queen.
Yeah.
The Queen.
Our first taste of the alien Queen.
And she makes a huge fucking impression immediately. Like, not only just because of her size, but just the presence that exudes from everything you see in that shot.
The design alone is just iconic in its own weird way, because you have the massive size, the tendrils kind of sticking out and attaching itself to the machinery, the unfortunately very funnily named giant egg sac coming out of her, where you just see all of the facehugger aids being laid out.
Mm-hmm.
If you look closely, she has heels for feet.
Yep.
As you do.
And very wide hips. James, are you trying to tell us something?
So he's the one to blame for all the monster fuckers.
Wait, so now that if 20th Century Fox is owned by Disney.
Yes.
Oh my god.
The Xenomorph Queen is a Pixar mommy!
Yes.
Does Don't make Ripley a Disney princess. If so, I buy it.
Yes.
You can't retroactively make someone a Disney princess. It doesn't work that way.
It is funny, but no, it doesn't work that way.
I don't know. I think they've now flat out said Deadpool's a Disney princess.
The part that kills me about the whole entering the Queen's domain is like Ripley's there for one specific reason: save Newt. She is not there for anything else. And I love how between the alien queen puppet and just Sigourney's acting as Ripley, you get this entire non-verbal conversation.
Yep.
The standoff
between the two of them. It's like, okay, I got my baby. You know what you know what I'm capable of. Don't make me do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just a little movement of the flamethrower to the eggs, like immediately.
Yep, just shooting behind the eggs and going like, okay, you see what I got? Like, don't fuck with me.
Yep.
Just let me have what I want, and I'll leave you be. Which is a lot of, like, again, that pragmatism that Ripley has, because she went into this wanting to basically go on a fucking murder spree, but at this point she's like, no, I know what's more important right now. And then it's like you get this sort of like tilt of the head from the Queen, and you it seems that the Queen understands, but then she tries to pull a power move, like the cunt she is, serving all the cunt, and then all of a sudden you just get that tilt of the head. Like I warned you.
It's the battle of the mama bears. Yeah.
And just goes off ripping the flames, everything, and that screech, that fucking screech, and you're just like, okay, now it's all like Donkey Kong. You got these two mother bears out for blood now.
I mean, it is quite literally a fuck around and find out kind of moment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's also kind of funny that the Queen wouldn't have even be able to move until Ripley blew up the egg sack.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, whether or not the Queen could fully detach from that or not, I think is questionable, regardless of Ripley's presence or not. But like, because insects do some weird shit, man, and much of the Alien Queen is like insect like inspired. But like, then Ripley and Newt are making a run for it. You hear the countdown going and going and going, and you're like, fucking elevators. Why does it have to be fucking elevators? Fuck it, I'm climbing the ladder. They get out, and then it's like, like her whole trust issues with Bishop start running around. There's like, fuck it, where's Bishop? Where's Bishop? Where's Bishop? Like, the dropship's supposed to fucking be here. And then it's like, no, he didn't have a safe place to land, so he had to fly round and round and round and round and round until he saw them. It's like, okay, good. You think we're in the clear. And that's when you realize, like, this movie is like the emperor of false endings. Because there's been like 3 or 4 times up at this point where you think the movie's going to end and it doesn't.
Yep.
And then they get out, and Bishop flies them out of there, everything's nuked, and you're just like, and then fuck you, James.
And then psych!
Yeah.
Fuck you, James. Total psych out. They land. No, the Alien Queen decided to sneak aboard. And you get one of what I could consider to be one of the most iconic shots of the movie when she rips Bishop in half.
Yep.
After impaling him, it's like, shit.
And then, of course, after that, you get Ripley in the fork loader with the most iconic line of the movie.
Yeah.
Get away from her, you bitch!
You bitch!
Yeah.
Like,
it's so funny to me that in the novelization of this book, one of the things that was told to the writer was, take out the profanity. So then that line is literally just get away from her, you.
Yeah.
And that's it.
You.
Why oughta?
Oh yeah, it's even put in italics like it's a goddamn Looney Tune.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Why I oughta?
It's a book. He just could have, done like the random characters.
Because the whole idea at the time was that, like, oh, this is also going to be one of those rated R pictures. Like, teenagers are not going to be able to see it, so they figured the most big demographic that's going to be reading the novelizations is going to be like minors, like 10 through 18 kind of thing. And it's like,
And then it's like, yeah, because they really don't want to, read that stuff. No, not at all. Like the writer himself, like this was in a documentary me and Xeiren watched. Like even the writer himself was just like, yeah, that was such a great idea.
Yep. Sure.
But then you have the epic fight between Ripley and the alien queen. She gets back in the forklift suit, and you're just like, go, 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 go. And then they both take a tumble down the goddamn airlock. And oh my god, just every time I watch that scene, it is so freaking tense. She opens it up with herself in it after escaping the freaking mech suit. Holds on for dear fucking life, and thank God for shitty tennis shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because once the queen gets more of a grip on the shoe than Ripley's ankle, she's gone out the airlock. Ripley's good, and then you just get Ripley climbing up to the top. You're like, Bishop, where's your legs? And then just Newt in that full-blown emotional moment just wraps her arms around Ripley and just shouts out, "Mommy!" And you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna cry.
Yep.
Yeah.
I never wanted kids. I don't have kids. But that still hits me in the heart every fucking time.
Yep.
Yeah, no, my favorite thing about that, Xeiren, you say about the crappy tennis shoes, we get a close-up of them early in the movie when she gets on the forklift.
Aren't they Adidas?
Wayland is sponsored by Reeboks.
Reeboks, yeah. Which is foreboding, yeah.
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 Well, it's more so the fact that Ripley's shoes are just really worn out. And they just slip right off.
Yeah, thank God for
brand or
raggedy,
no brand.
Thank God for
They're
raggedy shoes and strong arms.
Damn, yeah, those guns.
She just wraps that arm around just holds it. I'm like,
300 pounds?
God.
Including the suck from the space?
Like, yeah, not only, holding the alien queen, making sure that you are, resistant to being pulled into the vacuum of space.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's like, what arm exercises are you doing?
Yeah, so...
And then we just get that beautiful moment where everybody's finally safe and sound. They all go to sleep in their little cryopods. End of movie.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yep.
And that's
so
how
the
the
aliens...
Alien franchise ended.
Yep, the alien side of things is really short, but, I mean, they come back. We just don't see, Ripley anymore. But, yeah, I fucking wish I could do that.
We see Ripley.
It's okay. You can deny the existence of anything after this.
Yeah.
I like the
just
idea...
think they got back and got Bishop some new legs, and, they just all kind of, it's Hicks and Ripley with the family with Newt, and Bishop is the crazy robot uncle. Like, I smell a sitcom.
Like, I'll say this before we fully wrap up, because Pass won't be here, Xeiren won't be here. It's literally just going to be me, Doc, Varren, and Roy when we move on through the Alien franchise for a bit. But I like the original concept for Alien 3. I like the original concept. The one they were going to do to explain why, it's a few years later, we're getting the same actress back, but she's shot up, she's gotten older. And that was the idea that, during all of this, yes, an alien did sneak on. Her... unfortunately, and I think it was literally supposed to be it didn't. I don't think they were gonna actually kill off Hicks. I think they were actually gonna let him survive, but have it be that it's been trying to get in to the fucking pods. It's been roaming around, and the fucking facehugger's been trying to do shit. Her pod malfunctioned, so she was awake the entire time.
Ouch.
So she grew, she aged, and watched this fucking thing try so hard to get at them.
It's kind of a what was that one movie? Someone's got his gun. Johnny's got his gun. Where the guy is stuck in the hospital bed because he's had all his arms and limbs blown off and is deaf and blind, and he's forced to just sit there in his thoughts, just trying his damnedest and not die out of shock and fright.
Yeah. So like, yeah, they were gonna do that originally, but no, producers or executives, whatever, people at fucking Fox were like, well, we tried to get in contact with her, but she wasn't interested. She never got a call. Because they're like, well, yeah, for Newt. Newt's thing was supposed to fucking malfunction, and her age was originally in that. And they're like, yeah, no, you're gonna have to write it and like rewrite it, get rid of the kid. Because yeah, I think they're just like, yeah, we just don't want to get the kid back. We don't want to. Nobody likes kids. It's like, go fuck yourself.
This is something coming from her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, look, I have a soft spot for some kids in horror films, so especially those who aren't annoying, went through some shit, came out the other end stronger. All right.
Basically, don't be a Kenny.
Yeah.
Well, that and like Newt, she's smart. She doesn't run off immediately into danger just to get everybody else in danger. She listens for the most part. You know, she's like one of the best children in like horror films. You know, the way her character is written, that is.
It's her, Carolyn, and
the little Italian
can't think of any others off the top of my head.
She's movies.
Oh God.
No. So yeah, no.
That's talk about Bob here.
But that's what I'll talk about. I'll say for here, like, yeah, no. At that point, yeah, them doing that, and then we get the crap that we did. Yeah, fuck 3. But that's a story for another time. So
we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
When we get there.
Anything else we want to add, or are we ready to wrap up?
I mean, what else are we gonna say about this movie? Like, it's an icon of its time. It pretty much changed pop culture from then onwards, because this was so influential on not only future movies, but also a lot of video game shit, and even like RPG and wargaming. Because I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, Warhammer 40K was born out of a lot of things from this movie.
Yes.
Yeah, because you had Warhammer before, but that was the high fantasy setting, and then they stuff from that.
And it was thanks to the setting of Rogue Trader that eventually then got turned into 40K down the line.
Which does take, especially the Tyranids take a good bit from the Xenomorphs.
Oh yeah.
And just the hierarchy of the corporation does take a lot, and the Space Marines takes a lot from like Wayland and
and
also
again like. And the movie itself, like, it's so goddamn quotable. Like, reference to it are being made to this day.
Yep.
Like, the most recent thing I can think of is that in the Expanse series, there is actually like some call signs where you see Vasquez, Hudson, Hicks, and such, like on like live monitor somewhere. So it's still being referenced to this day. Like, that's how much of an impact this fucking movie had.
Oh yeah. The other major thing I would say is, if you are an effects junkie, watch this if you haven't seen it, because just upon our rewatch this weekend, we had a couple of friends watching with us, and the fact that there was this mistaken thing when we were watching it, that somebody was like, oh yeah, the CGI in the scene. I'm like, actually no, there is no CGI in this movie whatsoever.
No,
it is all practical. What you're witnessing is keyframing, and I don't blame you for thinking it's CGI, but you know, it's like, it's just that good. It's just
we haven't reached that yet.
That good.
Yeah, we haven't reached CG Cameron yet.
And if you ever heard of the whole like hefty bag test or the trash bag test in effects lingo, that comes from this movie, because when they originally were basically doing all the blocking and the like seeing if the alien queen puppet would even work, they just took a frame and covered it in black hefty bags in trash bags, and that's how they made the original Queen puppet. Like, if you like I said, if you are an effects junkie and you love practical, this is the movie you need to see.
Yeah.
Period.
And if you love this movie, I highly, highly, highly recommend a recent documentary that just came out. It is done by the people who did In Search of Darkness, In Search of Tomorrow, and such. It is called Aliens Expanded. 4-hour plus about everything about the fucking movie's making, stuff that it's spun off of, inspirations and such. Like, it has everything. You got people like James Cameron and Sigourney Weaver and all like the actors, almost all the actors who are still alive, coming back to just give their insights. It is a wonderful watch.
Bro, where can I watch that?
You can buy it currently via aliensexpanded.com. You can buy digital copies of it.
How much?
I think the base price is $30, but currently, at time of recording, there's a promo going on where you can get it for 20% off with a particular code.
So I assume you have this.
Other expanded media. Let's see. I made a joke about Colonial Marines. We're not going to.
We'll talk
that.
after.
But there are good games based around the concept of alien stuff. There's I know Fireteam Elite. There's a lot of love for that one. That is essentially it being Aliens XCOM. Yep. There was the Infestation game, which was way forward doing Contra before they ended up getting hired to do Contra on the DS. No less.
Oh yeah,
hell.
I was gonna say Contra is so.
Contra itself has a lot of alien influences in the last level, especially.
Yeah, just on the fucking box art, man.
Dude, even good comics, The Brood.
The Brood.
Yeah.
The
Brood, the Pizza Monsters from TMNT.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, even the movie itself spun off a bunch of fucking comic series done by Dark Horse.
Dark Horse.
Yeah.
And one other big thing that we can't forget is this movie inspired the Metroid franchise.
Metroid franchise, yes,
of course. Yep.
Actually, now that I think about it,
as I said, pop culture would not be the same without this movie.
No, it would not.
Now that I think about it, The Brood, that's even more visceral because I think they kind of took the concept from the fucking from the deleted stuff from the first Alien.
Right.
Because, little known fact from people, unless you actually read the Brood sections in the comic, the Brood are a fucking interdimensional breed of creepy ass creatures that are legitimately just xenomorphs that kidnap women, impregnate them, turn them into brood mothers. And in the Marvel universe, by the way, this is a part of Marvel. This has happened to Kitty Pryde. Poor fucking Kitty. My God. They turn you. That you keep constantly giving birth to them until eventually being stuck in that dimension between dimensions with them, you become one.
Yep.
It literally, you devolve into one.
The 90s in comics, everybody.
And that happened to fucking Kitty Pryde. She survived, they got her back, but like...
She got better.
She did, literally, you could say that. She got better. But, yeah...
But I think we should probably sign off on that before we just lose our freaking minds.
Yeah, we'll lose it. So, with all of that said, Xeiren, where can people find you?
Xeiren, that spells Xeiren. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Blue Sky and Instagram and Threads. You can also find myself driving Varren nuts as usual on his Twitch channel every freaking Monday with RPGs because I am a menace. And for some reason he likes that.
The audience likes it too.
Sure.
They're okay. Go with that.
Excellent. Ver.
Well, as Xeiren has said, you can find me over on twitch.tv/VarrenKimbold, where every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8 p.m. Central PM time, you can see me play all kinds of fun games. Mondays, the RPGs with this red-haired menace. Wednesdays, strategy shooter, something else with an S. And Fridays, I play whatever hell I can find, or sometimes I do a few fun retrospectives every now and then. You can also find me over on Blue Sky as Varren Kimbold. You can also find me over on YouTube at Varren Kimbold for streams and VODs of my streams and compilations. You can find me over on TikTok if you want to help me indulge in my OC tendencies I'm able to do every now and then. Also just as Varren Kimbold. And you can also still find me over on Twitter. But do be warned, I just do whatever the fuck I want on there.
Excellent. Pass.
Hello. I can be found on Twitch, twitch.tv/pass_the_remote. Can also be found on YouTube at the same thing, pass_the_remote. And I can be found shitposting on Twitter at passtheremoteCF. You can find me there. On streaming, we don't do as much. Is it? Yes, it's Xeiren. What? You don't like me shitposting on Twitter?
Just shifting around.
Sorry. When you shifted around, you were looking at me just like, motherfucker. If you keep breathing in so much, I'm gonna take a kiss from you. All right.
Excellent.
But also, Ookami and I will do streaming on Mondays and Tuesdays, and other days if the circumstances arise, I might also stream. More so on Twitch than on YouTube, but sometimes on YouTube also.
Excellent. Grave, where is the turtle today?
I'm putting xenomorph-sized ant baits in all the vents. Gotta keep this place pest-free, you know.
Fair enough.
Especially get them out of the goddamn walls.
Oh my god, the walls, yeah. Roy.
You can find me here at Wolf's Den Productions. I run a little show called The Starlight. We look at the rare, obscure, hard to find with Dr. Chaotic over here. Also, I also run a little podcast known as the Red Light Podcast. I have to think about that. Your home videos is my horror. You got some love mail, some hate mail, some LV426 mail. You got some corporate shilling mail. You got some marine mail. You got some. Wow, I love these alien mail. Send it to Starlight Podcast at ProtonMail.com. We also have an X account at capital R, capital L, capital P, capital S, Starlight. Yes, RLP Starlight. Give us some recommendations, some commendations. We love to hear from you. Just say hi. Just a little hi. That's all I want. Please, just let me know you're out there. I also write reviews and startup list over at criticlist.com. Yes, Critic List. You're home for regular critics everywhere out there. Be there or be square. Doc.
You can find me here at Wolf's Den Productions. Here on multiple podcasts, including Late to the Murder Part, Lonely Late and Party, and a Monday, and also my own podcast, the Over the Years podcast, where I take Roy throughout a decade of hip hop music and ask, is it worth it all this much? And the answer is, kinda. You can also find me on Critic List as under Chaotic Doctor, where I've done reviews and lists, including talking about sci-fi, including love for finally getting into Star Trek, and hating the shit out of Roland Emmerich. But that's a story for another day. And you can also find me here on the Starlight and Red Light, where I pretty much just riff and have fun.
Excellent. You can, of course, find me here on Podbean and YouTube under Wolf's Den Productions. From goofy-ass anime to the shocking horror, Wolf's Den Productions, your #1 stop for equally nerdy reviews of nerdy media. You can also find me over on Twitter. That is Mistress Ookami. That's right, Mistress Ookami. That's my name. Don't wear it out. And finally, if you're feeling extra generous, I said that the last time. Yeah, if you're feeling extra generous, head on over to the Wolfsden Patreon, where you can get access to episodes that may or may not drop to the general public, episodes that most certainly will not be dropping to the general public, behind the scenes, all sorts of goodies, all for just a measly $1 a month. Remember, folks, your $1 a month can go a long, long way. And until next time, well, we are going to be continuing the Fall of the Hunt by still staying in the 80s, but we're jumping franchises now. Xeiren's going to be happy about this because Daddy's coming home. It's Predator.
Xeiren, do you need a towel?
No.
Okay.
Would you like a bottle of water or several bottles of water?
My chair is fine. The moisture level is set.
Actually, I think, ignoring that, I think, what was that, 80... When was Predator?
87, I believe.
87. The very next year.
Yep.
But we're missing, guys. We're missing Alien 2 on Earth.
Down, Roy.
Get fuck.
No.
Why do we miss this classic so much?
Because you have your own show for that.
This
Exactly.
is true.
Go watch.
Good night, everybody. Oh.
Get away from her, you bitch. I'm forklift certified.
Now to go perfect that cornbread recipe finally.
Okay, now I can turn on the AC because it's hot as the fucking jungle in here.
Go watch Creature.
Jesus.